やった。では、これをちょっと消します。はい。Hello everybody. どうもこんばんは。コールマンです。バズ・コールマンの、翻訳勉強会の第2回目。前回と同じように最初の方日本語にしますので、今回、あと自己紹介も今回させていただきます。前回はさっぱり忘れました。どういう人間なのか、どうして、翻訳、のことについて語っていい人間だと思ってるっていうことについても少しだけ話させていただきます。その後、早速勉強会の方の勉強の部分の方に入りたいと思います。今回は前回の続き、日本文化に関してどういうふうに考えて、英語にどういうふうにすればよいかということと、あと契約書についてももう少し見たいと思います。あと、でも最初の方に、その勉強の方の部分の最初の方に、あれですね、前回の課題っていうふうに、課題っていう部分だって言ったところを、見ていきたいと思います。で、前回と同じように、今回もね、おそらく1時間になるかと思いますけれども、その中の最初の30分日本語に、その後の30分を英語にしたいと思います。で、前回、どうしてそのようにしたいかということに関して、ちょっとだけ説明させていただきましたけれども、そこで言ったのは、翻訳したりして、その後にお客さんですとかに、クライアントさんですとかに、どうしてこういうふうにしましたかっていう、どうしてこういう英語にしたかっていうことを聞かれたら、日本語でも英語でも、言葉に関して考えたりして説明したりできるようにした方がいいというふうに言いましたけれども、そういうことではなく、それも大事ですけれども、第一、言葉に関して考えるとき、日本語でも、僕から見れば日本語は外国語ですけれども、外国語、日本語と英語、英語が外国語であるっていう人もいらっしゃると思うんですけれども、日本語と英語を両方使って言葉に関して考えることは大事ですので、この勉強会は言葉に関する話になると思いますので、日本語で話したり、英語で話したりしますと、だんだんと日本語と英語について考えるとき、日本語でも考えられますし、英語でも考えられるということが大事だと思いますので、これから最初の30分は日本語、最後の30分は英語でさせていただきたいと思います。で、早速、自己紹介。短く、申し上げますと、アメリカ人ですけれども、アメリカ合衆国のテキサス大学で、日本語と美術の専攻をしました、まずは。まずは美術の方の専攻をしてたんですけれども、外国語もの単位も取れなきゃいけないということで、日本語にしたんですね。で、だんだんと日本語の授業を取っていっていれば、日本語の専攻もできる程度の単位も取ってるっていうことに気づいたら、美術はそのままその専攻も取りましたし、今度は日本語も取ることになりました。それは1999年ですね。で、その後札幌に来て、札幌で、いろいろなアルバイトをしながら、まずは、北海道教育大学で、日本画、絵の勉強ですね。日本画を2年間研究生として研究することになりました。で、 あの、2年間研究しました。で、その後、その研究期間が終わったら、だんだんと翻訳会社の方に声をかけてみて、翻訳の仕事を取り入れるようにして、フリーランス在宅翻訳者に、なりました。以上です。で、じゃあ、えっと、早速勉強の内容の方に移りたいと思います。もしかしてリンクがちょっとなんか変になったかもしれませんので、その前に、これはちゃんと動いてるかどうかについて確認します。いやー、なんかちょっと変かもしれない。あららら。えー、ライブのところ何なんか、これだ。しかも、待ってる人いるんだね。どうしたらいいんだどうしたらいいんだじゃあ、チャットで、ちょっと、こっちの方の、こっちの方のリンクを、このリンクはどこから、ごめんなさい、ちょっといろいろ、自分でも僕でもわからないことがあったりし、わかったかも。ここに来て、今やってるところのリンクはこれ。で、本当にすいませんね。で、こっちの方に行って、やっぱり一人いなくなったし。Sorry, everyone. あ、欲しい、欲しい、欲しい。The link has changed. Sorry. Click this link. あ、there we go. で、こっちにも、ここ行って、全然勉強まだできてない。It's changed. Click this link. Sorry. ここも変えられる。はい。で、あれThe link below. で、これでいいのかなで、はいはいはいはいはい。はい。No, it's not made for kids. はい。はい。これでもしかしてつながる。はい。はい。これでいいかな。だね。多分これでいいかな。わからないけど。いや原因が、失敗した原因が分かったかもしれない。こうするしか。もしかして、ちょっとリンクを、原因が今ちょっと分かったと思いますけれども、今僕一人しかいなくて、誰もいない環境です。リンクを、じゃあここでも変えようか。ちょっともう一回試してみる。やっぱり違う。失敗しました。で、待ってる人がいるのに、失敗しました。ここで 違うよね。違う。The link has changed. Sorry. Click this link instead. はい、これでいいかな。はい、では、で、じゃあもう時間がかなり経ってるので、つまり、失敗の原因は、今使ってるストリーミングサービスっていうのがあって、なんだっけ、B ライブ、Go ライブか B ライブというやつなんですけれども、B ライブの方で、時間を設定することできますね。予約制みたいな感じで。で、時間を設定して、そのリンクも引っ張って Facebook とかに置くことができますので、その最初のリンクを置きました。けれども、ちょっと失敗したのは、そのストリームを消しちゃって、新しいストリームを、新しいストリームにしました。で、そこでリンクも変わりましたので、前のリンクを使ってアクセスしたい人は、今ストリーミングでやっている映像動画は見れなくなります。っていうのは、このリンクも、これだね、この upcoming っていうところ、これはもう、ここはなんで、これをやりたいのにね、ちょっと待ってよ。でも、まあいいや。はい。じゃあ、とりあえず、じゃあいろいろごめんなさい。新しいソフトではないんですけれども、新しいサービスでもないんですけれども、新しいものですので、なんか全然わかんないことが多くて、はい、じゃあこれ消して、早速、一人になっちゃいましたけれども、全体にして、はい、これをオンにして、早速、一瞬ちょっと変になりますけれども、はい、じゃあこれを見ます。前回の続きをさせていただきたいと思います。ということで、7時30分ぐらい、7時30分過ぎでいいかな。までやります。日本語でやりますけれども、自己紹介終わってないかな。まずは日本語を大学の方で日本語の専攻をして、その後日本に来て、ご存知かもしれませんけれども、日本語能力試験の1級を取りまして、その後、順番間違えたね。日本語の方をまず研究して、その後、日本語能力試験1級、その研究期間が終わった。終わったのは終わって、で、その後、その日本語能力試験やって、その後、翻訳の仕事をだんだんと取り入れるようになりまして、その後20年ぐらい、日本語の、日本から英語までの翻訳をしてきましたので、翻訳については、そういう感じですね。日本語、じゃなくて、翻訳の、実務経験といいますかね。で、前の映像に、も、前の映像の方にも、もう一人来てる。よかった。パブリック、ホーストチャット。 わからないけど、一人でも来てればありがたいです。じゃあ、まずは、前回の宿題の方を、見ましょう。この文ですね。で、この文を宿題、課題でやってください。やりたい人はやってくださいということを言いましたけれども、なんでこの文を宿題としてやっていただきたかったかと言いますと、言葉一つ一つは難しいとか難しくないとかを置いといて、難しいかなと思った単語も全部、用語も全部リストアップしますので、基本的にほとんど辞書とか引かずに、言葉の意味がわかるはずっていう形にしましたけれども、長いんですね。長いのが難しいです。で、どこで切ればいいかっていう問題もありますので、私の方で、こことこことこことここ、このとのところ、このコンマのところだね。と、このではのところ、で、この場合はのところ、で、ことが多いのところで切るようにするといいでしょうっていうふうに言いました。考えています。で、どうしてなのか、ちょっとやってみますと多分わかるかと思いますので、わかると思うんですけれども、まずはこの no ですはどうしてこの多いというところの後に切って no ですをこのふうに一行にしたかと言いますと、まずはね、この no ですというのは、それはなぜかと言いますとっていうところとつながっていますので、こことここが、セットだよっていう意味で、多いの後にこうやって来た方がいいんじゃないかっていうふうに考えています。でまずはじゃあ、ちょっと翻訳してみましょうか。まずはじゃあ、用語一つ一つちょっと見ていきましょう。日本社会、Japanese Society、国際化、Internationalization、教育環境、Education Environment または Educational Environment、教育環境下、under または within the educational environment、高等学校、ハイスクール、高校のことですね。公教育制度、Public Education System、美術史、Art History、基本的、Basic、基本的に、Basically、西洋、Western。はい、じゃあ、やりましょう。それはなぜかと言いますと、まずはね、直訳します。後でちょっと書いたりすると思いますが、as for why that is so。後で書いたりすると思いますけれど、まずは直訳、そのままの英訳します。Japanese society、日本社会の国際化、The internationalization of Japanese society が進む、現在の教育環境下、The modern educational environment in which, hold on a second. Within the modern education environment in which the internationalization of Japanese society is advancing. はい、こうやって引っ張って。日本社会の国際化が進む現在の教育環境下 within the modern educational environment in which the internationalization of Japanese society is advancing. 高等学校までの公教育制度では in the では in the のような感じがいいかな。in the public education system up to high school。で、この2つの塊と、このコンマとこのなんとかかに 関してはどういうふうにつなげばいいかな。In the public education system up till high school. じゃあそのままにまずはそのままにします。Within the modern educational environment in which the internationalization of Japanese society is advancing, comma, in the public education system up to high school, 美術史を学ぶ場合は、で、ここは美術史を学ぶ場合は、ここは、主語のようなものがないけれども、学ぶのは学生、あくまで学生たち、生徒さんですとか、学生たちがというふうに考えればいいと思います。When students learn about art history または when learning about でもいいかな about art じゃあ日本語と同じように日本語と同じように、集合がなくてもいいかもしれません。基本的に西洋の美術史になることが多い。basically がちょっと変かもしれないけど、とにかく直訳なので、basically learn じゃあここは非常に直訳っぽくします。まずは。ここ変だぞっていう感じ。ここ変だぞと思うまでやります。Basically, it becomes Japanese. 違う。It becomes Western art history. 違う。Becoming Western art history. It becoming Western art history is frequent. 違うな。まあ、frequent でいいかな。多いのことで。で、no ですはどうしたらいいかな。the reason is. で、これは変だから、書き換えます。まずは the reason is でいきましょうか。The reason for this, that's weird. The reason for this is, これはこのまま使っていいかな。Within the modern educational environment in which the internationalization of Japanese society is advancing. In the public, じゃあまずは使ってみます。ちょっと長くて分かりづらいけれど、まずはこのまま。When learning about art history, basically, OK. で、この英語は変なので変えますけど、まずはちょっと見てみましょう。The reason for this is, within the modern educational environment in which the internationalization of Japanese society is advancing, in the public education system up to high school, when learning about art history, basically it becoming Western art history is frequent. 特にこの最後の方は変。It becoming Western art history is frequent. 最初の部分は多分これはこのまま使っていい。within the modern education これはこのままにするか、もうちょっとわかりやすくするかってことだね、まずは。Within the modern educational environment in which the international of Japanese society is advancing これはもっとわかりやすくできるはずです。Within the modern educational environment は、はい、このまま。which is seeing an increasing internet この方がいいかな within the modern educational environment which is seeing an increasing internationalization of Japanese society どうしてもいいなでこれはこの2つの塊の順番を変えます。When learning about art history in the public 流れ的にこの方が分かりやすいと思う。When learning about art history in the public education system up until high school で、basically を generally の方に変えましょう。Generally, Western art history is the norm. どうだ ?The norm と言っていいのかなで、この日本語をもう一度下の方に引っ張って見ていきましょう。英語を消して、これ結局集合なしでいい。はい。どうでしょうか。それはなぜかと言いますと、日本社会の国際化が進む現在の教育環境下、高等学校までの公教育制度では、美術史を学ぶ場合は基本的に西洋の美術史になることが多いのです。最初の方忘れました。The reason for this is within the modern educational environment, which is seeing an increasing internationalization of Japanese society. This is still まだちょっと長いんですね。When learning about art history in the public education system up to high school, generally Western art history is the norm. もっともっとわかりやすくできるはずですね。もともとの日本語も長いんですけれども、なぜかこの英語はちょっとわかりにくい。長くて。The reason for this is within the modern educational environment. まずはこのコマ消していい。Within the modern educational environment, which is seeing an increasing internationalization of Japanese society. こうしましょうか。強調する部分がちょっと変わりますけれども、流れ的にこっちの方がいいかな。The reason for this is within the modern educational environment, which is seeing an increasing internationalization of Japanese society, generally Western art history is the norm when learning about art history in the public education system up to high school. どうでしょう。上の方が何を強調したいかと言いますと、美術史になることが多いがポイントですね。で、それが上の方の英語では伝わると思います。これがね、ここがポイントだぞということが上の方の英語でよく伝わると思います。こっちの方ではあんまりなんかちょっと伝わんないんですね。ここがポイントだぞっていうことがあんまり伝わんないかもしれません。ただ、こっちの方がフロー的に流れ的にこっちの方がいいと思います。で、とにかくどっちを使おうかっていう意見に関しては、様々な意見があると思いますけれども、まず人がいるかいないかちょっともう一回確認しますね。in stream 2、もう一人が、Anna, it usually implies Western art history. ね。ありがとうございます。美術になることが多いとのことですかね。はい。ちょっと違いますね。っていうのは、おっしゃっていることは分かりましたけれども、美術になることが多いっていうのは、美術を学ぶことが多いという意味です。学校では、要するに高校まで教える美術史っていうのは、 日本の美術史があまり入ってなくて、西洋の美術史を教えることが多い。または生徒さん側から見ると学ぶことが多い。だから、になることが多い。このなることが多いっていうのはどういう意味になるかっていうのがちょっと分かりにくい日本語かもしれませんが、そういう意味ですね。美術史を学ぶことが多いです。generally, Western art history is the norm でもいいと思いますし、他の言い方が好ましいっていうことであれば、generally Western art history いや、でも is the norm がいいかな。いろいろあるかもしれませんけれども、とりあえず、今日は何を、見たかったかと言いますと、長い文章を英語にする場合は、どこで切ればいいのか、そして、その切った後の英語の一つ一つの部分をどういうふうにつないで英語の文章にすればよいのかっていうことについて、これが答えだぞというより、ちょっと一緒に考えていきたいなというところでした。で、もう7時半過ぎていますので、今度は、契約書をね、英語に切り替えますね。で、英語でも、自己紹介をちょっとだけさせていただいてから、契約書の翻訳に戻りましょう。Okay, now it's a little after 7:30. We've done about half of the class. Actually, the first 10 minutes was basically me trying to figure out how to work things. But anyhow, what I would like to do is do a half an hour in Japanese and a half an hour in English. And as you will see, I'm probably a little bit more, I know more words in English. The flow will probably be a little bit more natural. But the reason I just want to say, I already said this in Japanese, but I want to say again, the reason why I want to talk in English and in Japanese is not because some people might find it easier to listen to one language over the other, but mainly because when we're thinking about words and talking about words, it's really, really important to be able to think about words in your own language and in the target language. And when I say your own language, I'm aware that there are actually some people in this group who, there will be, if Japanese people look at it, there will be people for whom English is a foreign language. But there are also people for whom both English and Japanese are a foreign language. So I apologize. I'm saying English as a native language and Japanese as a foreign language because that's my perspective. But the main point is thinking about words in both Japanese and English is very, very important. For example, just a very, very short exercise. Let's try this. I want you to say or type or think is okay. I like big dogs. The sentence in English, I like big dogs, but I want you to be able to say that sentence without using the word big. Let's say you don't know the word big for whatever reason. The easiest thing to do would be to choose another word, right? I like large dogs. That's fine. But how about this? I like dogs that are not small. Now, I mean, this doesn't have the same nuance, but it communicates the same basic meaning. And this is something this is a very small exercise that you can do with everything. For example, how would you say I like red cars? I mean, it's basically the same pattern, right? I like red cars, but you can't use the word red for whatever reason. You don't know it, or for whatever reason, you're prohibited from using the word red. One possible option would be I like cars that are a color that is a mix of yellow. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I apologize. Red is, we can't do that with red. We're going to say orange cars. I apologize. I like orange cars. And then one option is I like cars that are a color that is a mix of yellow and red. Okay, but you can't say orange. You can say red. You can't say orange. Okay, now, why is it, this is really, it's actually kind of dorky. It's kind of stupid, but why are we doing this? It's to play around with words in a just a little bit, in such a way that if you're prohibited from using this word, if you're prohibited from using orange, you can use color that is a mix of yellow and red. And why are you able to do that? You're only able to do that if you know the definition of orange in English. So let's say, for example, that English is your native language, or when thinking about English and Japanese, English is the language that you have more vocabulary in. English is the language that you feel more comfortable. We're going to call that a native language, but it could be a base language, as compared to Japanese might be a tertiary language, which you have less vocabulary in. It's important to know in your base language, it's important to know what orange is. It's important to know what orange is. And that means extrapolating from that and generalizing from these specific examples. What I'm saying is it's important to know in your own language how to talk about words. If someone asks you in your own language or in your base language, what is orange? Well, you have to know that orange is a color that is a mix of yellow and red. That's why it's important. And let's talk about, for example, here's a great example. Now we're going to switch to Japanese and do the same thing, only it's going to be a lot more different. Yaji, do, shi. Okay. In Japanese, what is ko? I mean, we can look it up in the dictionary, but I'll tell you right now what I think it is. It is keiyaku. I mean, this is one definition. There might be other definitions of what ko is. But keiyakusho no naka no keiyakusho nai no toji toji shot. No, that's fine. How are we going to put this? Kata? Kaku toji no isha. Let's see. So, okay. So this is one. I mean, this might be a crummy Japanese sentence here, or crummy Japanese definition, but this is one example. Keiyakusho nai no kaku toji sha no isha. Let's see what the dictionary says. Let's see if we can get a good online dictionary. I mean, one thing is kabuto, right? This is kind of hard because there's a lot. Let's see what Wikipedia says here real quick. Okay, well, here it is. Ko wa ichiban no imi to naru. So it's the first, right? And that holds up because it's the first in the contracts usually. Well, I'm not seeing what I want to see, and so, I mean, that's okay. That's fine. The point is this. If you know what ko is, you know what we can do? Daisha. Okay, it's the first person, right? It's the first person it's the first party, right? Toji-sha is party or entity. It's the first party in a contract. And here we're getting at, when you see a new word, whether your base language is Japanese or English, when you see a new word in Japanese, you want to be able to know what that word is while thinking in Japanese, but you also want to be able to know what that word is while thinking in English. So, why did that happen? Let's just say the first party in a contract. I'm not saying this is the official definition. I'm just saying when you're looking at the word ko, this is how you can think of it. And it's so when you see this is a skill that you develop by, sorry about that arrow. This is a skill that you can develop little by little just by thinking about words in two different languages. And it's something that you have to develop as a translator. It's not so important when you are just learning a foreign language. It's not all, oh, well, you could argue that it's important, but it's not as important. It's definitely it's definitely important when you're doing translation. And that is why, in order to develop this skill, that is why I want to do 30 minutes in one language and 30 minutes in the other. Okay, so here we go. Dai ichijo, Article 1 of a contract. Purpose. So here we're going to do a little trick. We're going to do, I'll tell you this, right now, ko and otsu get super difficult to remember which one is which as you're translating a contract from Japanese into English. So what we do is just go up here, and this is Control H. This might be very basic to a lot of people, and if you already know this, I'm very, very sorry, but we're going to do, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to write it down, CTRL H, Control H. Are you supposed to put a plus here? I don't know if you're supposed to put a plus here. Control H. This is how you make sure all your terms are, so unifying terms, or in Japanese, yogo toitsu. You need to make sure they're the same. You need to make sure ko and otsu are the same throughout the entire thing. And it is hard to keep track, especially if you've got like a 10-page contract. You won't be able to keep track. So press Control H. How are we going to say this? Put, that's not how you spell that. Put Japanese, put the Japanese word in the top box. A pop-up box will pop up. Put the Japanese word in the top. These are called fields, actually, right? Nyuyokuran? Is that what you call that? Something like that. They're fields in English. 3, put the English replacement word is a good word in the bottom field. 4, click. Assuming you're using a Japanese OS, it should be, what is it? It's subete okikae. Subete okikae. Or in English, I think it's probably find and replace all. I think, I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Ko is going to be, so press Control H. Ko is here. The outsourcer. There you go. And I like to put a little space here so that there's a space between it and all the Japanese that's going to be coming after it. Here we go. Subete okikae. Bam. 14 of them. Now, if you go down, and imagine this is like a 10-page contract. Now you see the outsourcer every time that there was ko. And so you never, ever have to worry about, because I guarantee you will forget, especially if it's long. So what's otsu? Otsu is, what did we have? Otsu is going to be subcontractor. So we're going to just copy it. Oh, and I want to have the, there you go, the subcontractor. So you can, as grammar necessitates, you can take the out if it's necessary, but it's nice to have it in. 13 of them. All right. There you go. Now it's so much easier. And you really, you want to do that with all these defined terms. This is another defined term. Ikahon gyomu. So we'll do that with that too. So gyomu, we're going to call it service. I mean, so you could say business, but I think service is more appropriate here. The outsourcer. Okay. you can use shall here, but I'm not going to, and I'll comment on that in a bit if I have time. We're just going to say requests the following service from the subcontractor, and service hereinafter. Hon gyomu. So hon just basically means this, right? This service. In a contract, just capitalizing it is good enough. The outsourcer requests the following service hereinafter from the subcontractor, and the subcontractor accepts this request. That's fine, right? The outsourcer requests the following service hereinafter from the subcontractor, and the subcontractor accepts this request. Now, you could make the argument that you should use shall here. This is a little bit problematic. It's not incorrect, and it's not horrible, and I think you might see some people using this. I only use shall in a contract or an agreement when you are talking about a promise between the two parties. That might be something that we'll get into next time because we don't have much more time. But in this case, the problem with this contract is, the problem with this is it's an outsourcing agreement. So this agreement is basically the request plus a whole bunch of rules that follow that request. How are you going to do the job? All sorts of rules. How much are you going to get paid? So really, I don't think we need to have shall. It's happening right now. This is the request. The outsourcer requests the following service. I shouldn't have erased that Japanese. Here we go. The outsourcer requests the following service hereinafter from the subcontractor. You know what? We could even go so far and say herein request. So it's happening right now. This is it. Article 1, purpose. Where did I write that? I wrote it somewhere, but we're going to write it again. Article 1, purpose. Okay. Let's really quickly go into more. Service. So gyomu, here we go. We're going to gyomu, and then for gyomu that doesn't have hon in front of it, that's lowercase service. There we go. Only 8 of those. And this is just a little snippet, so it's pretty short. But hon gyomu or hon service, this is going to be the service, and it's capital. It's a defined term. All defined terms in contracts need to be capital, have capital letters. Okay, so if we see gyomu nayo, that's a lowercase content, service content, but it comes first in the sentence, so we're gonna capitalize it anyways. I'm going to change that. Another thing you have to be aware of is changing the symbols, or like colons and stuff, into English characters. And we want a space after that for English. Bam. There's only 5 of them, but in a long contract you might have more. So that's important. Betto ko otsu no aida de koutsukan. Koutsukan is basically ko to otsu no aida. De goi suru shorui no wabun eiyaku. So the service content is agreed to separately between the outsourcer and the subcontractor. Japanese to English translation of documents, and then this goes at the front or top or front, whatever. Okay. Service content. Betto is separately, right? So Japanese to English translation of documents agreed to separately between the outsourcer and the subcontractor. And you'll see this a lot. Betto, is it bet small tsuto, right? Betto, yeah. And you'll see this a lot in contracts. It means that it's not going to be something that you're talking about in the actual contract itself. It will be decided in a different document, not this document. Oh, and then okay, so this is what I write. Okay, let's see if we can get through this. So I'm going to try and talk less and just blaze through Article 2. Article 2. Hosho hokoku, so guarantees and reports. That we might have to change it. Let's just see. Otsu wa hongyomu no suiko. Is that suiko? How do you say this? It's execute suiko, right? As a matter of fact, this is another one we can just replace to execution. It's executing it's doing something is what it is. It's performing the service, execution of the service. Niatatte wa daisansha. This is going to pop up a lot, so we're gonna do this. Third party. You could do either way, third party or third parties. Tono bun. This is dispute. Funso. Okay, so that disputes do not arise between with third, and this is going to be plural, third parties, in the execution of the service, the subcontractor shall complete. Okay, this is a little weird, but this happens a lot. Let me just work around it here. Complete following the directions, or you could say instructions, either way is fine, of the outsourcer, so that is fine, but let's do this in such a way that disputes do not arise with third parties. Okay. In the execution of the service, oh, you know what? This is fine. Shall complete the let's just say, I think this is good. In the execution of the service, the subcontractor, that's actually not good. In the execution of the service, the subcontractor shall complete the service following the instructions of the outsourcer, in such a way that disputes do not arise with third parties. That's pretty good. Okay, so just one little oddity here is, in Japanese, you'll find this all the time. Kanryou saseru mono to suru. There's no, first of all, there's no object. What are they completing? It doesn't say. You can guess that it's the service, right? That's not the problem. That's just a small mini side problem that's easily solved because it's pretty clear that what they're talking about is completing the services. The real important thing is, in Japanese, it's phrased such that when they say shiji ni shitagatte kanryou saseru mono to suru, they're not saying you will the translation for that, right, is the subcontractor will complete the service following the instructions of the outsourcer. But it's the thing is, complete is not the important part. Complete is not the important part. The important part is following the instructions. That's where the emphasis needs to be. That's where it is in Japanese, but if you translate it into English, let's see, I might have accidentally done it. In execution of the service, the subcontractor shall complete the service following. No, you know what? This English is fine because you can tell that following the instructions of the outsourcer following the instructions of the outsourcer is the important point. So that's okay. It would be a problem if you did it like this. If you did it like this, let me show you. I think I might be wrong, but I think it would be a problem if you did so that if you follow the original Japanese wording order, in the execution of the service, so that disputes do not arise with third party. This is a little bit weird. The subcontractor shall complete the service following the instructions of the outsourcer. Yeah, you know what? That's a little bit odd anyhow. It's just a weird way of saying it anyhow. So, nope. Sorry, we don't like you. Well, there's probably a better. This is not a great example of what I was going to say. So anyhow, we are at 8 o'clock, but you know what? We're going to go over just a little bit. We're going to do this last chunk here. And I'm going to try not to make any points. I'm just going to do it. The outsourcer wa the subcontractor ni hitsuyou ni ojite the service no executionについて作業計画書の提出もしくは本業務の this is progress. How do you pronounce it? 進捗状況または進捗予定などに関する報告を求めることができ、the subcontractor これに応じるものとする? That's how you say that, right? Yeah, right. Okay, 応じる. All right, so it's the progress. It's you. Okay, so you have to. Well, here, let me just do it. Copy some of these terms here for use down below. As necessary, the outsourcer shall. Oh wait, the outsourcer can request the submission from the subcontractor the submission of reports. Oh wait, hold on. Let's start with the beginning here. The service execution. So this is work plans. Submission of work plans regarding execution of the service. Reports concerning the progress or planned progress of the service. Do we have a nado in there, or is it nado? Oh yeah, so reports concerning the progress or planned progress. Let's do this. Report progress, planned progress, etc. Some people would say it's better to work around that, and you can. It's just I don't have time right now, so let's finish this up. Reports concerning the progress, planned progress, etc. So some people are of the opinion that you don't want to put etc. in English contracts, and that's a really good rule to live by if you can. And there's a way to work around so that you can include the meaning of nado, but not have to actually write etc. in the contract. But it takes time, and it's fine actually. I think it's fine to include etc. here. I'm okay with it. I don't think it's important enough to spend time on the workaround. There will be times where you do have to do that, but not right now, in my opinion. If you're of an opposing opinion, that's fine, and you can comment on it, and you can share your English ideas in the English translations in the comments, by the way. 求めることができ、subcontract, and the subcontractor. Basically, anytime you see ものとする, that's that's generally a clear indication that you're going to have to use shall. It's not that simple, and I will get into it more later, but basically, that's one way of knowing we're going to use shall. Shall. So this is a respond, right? But we're going to say shall comply. That's basically what it is. It's not really responding, it's complying. You have to submit the reports is what it's saying. Okay, so the outsourcer can, let's just say, let's do this. The outsourcer can, comma, as necessary, comma. Why did I get up there? That happens sometimes. I don't understand it. The outsourcer can, as necessary, request from the subcontractor the submission. We don't need you. Of work plans regarding do I want the regarding the execution of the service, or because it was mata wa moshikuwa, or reports concerning the plan progress, etc. of this service, comma, and the subcontractor shall comply. Bam. I think that's good. It's definitely good enough. That's for sure. So you'll notice there's no 1 here, but there is a 2 here. That's pretty common in Japanese contracts. For a long time, I used to put a 1 here, and nobody ever complained about it, and it was just fine. But now I just don't. I just, because I figure the English should be a direct reflection of the same numbering as close as possible. Sometimes it's impossible, but as close as possible should reflect the original numbering, even if it's different from what you would normally see in most English-speaking countries. All right, and there is that sentence. Let's do homework. Homework, if you choose to accept it, and this is not, there's no idea or theme behind it. It's just a sentence. If you want to do it, this is it. And I'm going to throw out some words here so that, because I don't want you to spend all your time looking up the words. Right? So we're going to do, it's supposed to be, the thing is, it's supposed to be easy. I don't want you to, this is all just going to be read, and you know what? We're just going to roll with it. Kinshi, everybody, you see this word all around all the time, right? Okay. This, I have a suggestion for you for this. So I'm going to put it all as one phrase. I apologize if these words are too easy. If you're like, I already know what all this means, I'm sorry. Oh, so this is whoa, what happened? Why did that happen? Sorry. Okay, so this is a weird word. It means, it's what, daiko, right? And it means doing, well, sase, do. It means doing for somebody is what it means. Oh, I didn't have an arrow there. Oh, you have to show me. Okay, so this is, so we already used the word subcontracting. So it's sai itaku is basically reordering or subcontracting. Let's see what, by the way, are we, oh, okay, we don't have. All right, let's, I don't want that. I want this. We don't need Wikipedia anymore. Okay, I don't want any of this. All right, let's see what, I mean, it's subcontracting and outsourcing, but re-consignment is good. Re-consignment is good. We already are using subcontractor, so we don't want to say subcontracting for sai itaku. I mean, you could, right? It's one of its meanings is subcontracting. Sorry about the arrow. So this is one of the meanings of再委託. And well, I mean, that's what it means. It's not just one of the meanings. That's what it means. We just don't want to use that term because it's confusing. So you could go with re-consigning. Is that how you spell that? So consigning is fine, right? Maybe you just have to put a hyphen here. And I mean, this is outsourcing, but we're already using outsourcing, so that's a little confusing. Is this showcase? Is that how you pronounce that? Yeah, showcase. This is succeeding, but it's weird because it's not succeeding in terms of success. It's succeeding in terms of succession, right? Inheritance. It's succeeding in terms of giving to somebody. It's like passing along or passing down is what it is. Kinshi, prohibition. This is atarame, right? Wait, arakajime. This, okay. In this case, it means prior. And this is written, it can be either permission or sometimes you see written consent. So it's taken together. These are prior written permission. Means you have to get permission before you do it, is what it means. Is that how you say this? Enin, sorry. Enin. This is also order, but what's the difference between enin, charge, trust? So if we had time, we'd look it up, but there's a difference between sai itaku and enin, but for now, we're just going to say order or request or consign. Daiko saseru. Okay. Wait, hold on. Yeah, daiko. All right, daiko saseru. Let's just see what the dictionary says. Put someone else in charge. Okay, see, this is why this is difficult. It'll always give you a phrase, and you don't want that. You just want a word. And it's saying you're not supposed to do it to a third party. So it's have them do it for you is what it means. This is really, so have them, and by that it's the third party is what I mean. Do it for you. That's what it means, but you kind of have to massage it a little bit and come up with a good word for it. For now, I'll let you sort of, question mark. You come up with a good word for that on your own. Okay, and this is Article 3. I will post this in the comments, I guess. And that is going to be it for this evening. We went a little over. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I apologize about all the weird technical difficulties in the beginning. Let's check the calendar here. Oh, you know what? Next Tuesday, I'm going to be off. So next Tuesday, we're not going to do this. So I'll put up a notice as to whether if we're going to do it later in the week next week or if we're just going to skip next week. I really don't want to skip it. So let's say we're probably going to do it like Thursday or Friday. Well, I can't do Friday. So let's say probably Wednesday or Thursday of next week, probably. But we might wind up skipping next week since it's a holiday and a lot of people, including myself, are going to be taking a few breaks. All right. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Anna. And thank you everyone who is watching this in the future. If you don't catch the streams when we do them, please, we're just going to save them all. So feel free to come on by and say hello in the future. All right. I will comment. Oh, I guess I should say, let me show you really quick. Well, I guess I should say there's a Facebook group now and we don't need this. There we go. There's a Facebook group now. Please come on by and join the Facebook group. Let's take a quick look at it real quick here. Here we go. Okay. This is my group. This is our group. Buzz Coleman's Translation Study Group. I guess I'll put a link to this in the comments, in the comment section, or and I'll put a link to this. This is the place where I'm going to be making you're not seeing it, are you? Well, I will put a link to it in the announcements below. It is the new group for this, the new Facebook group for this group. So come on by, join up, and also you can subscribe to this channel and make sure you hit the bell icon so that you get notifications as to when we are going to go live. Otherwise, at any time, feel free to come by and view videos, old videos. I will keep them up for as long as the world continues to exist. Peace out. Have a good night. Goodbye, everyone. How do I turn this off? Oh, here we go. Bye.